Okay, so we're starting with baby Ora. Picture this, tiny human girl, barely bigger than a breadstick, standing in the ruins of her village looking like she's ready to throw herself into a WWE cage match against these winged Hiyaj soldiers. She's bleeding, cornered, and yet she's all, catch these hands, or teeth. One soldier, poor dude gets bitten. Yes, bitten. Crunch. He's like, what the, did she just... His pals start laughing because clearly they didn't get the memo that she's feral. But before they can even finish their villain monologue, there's this boom of wings, and suddenly it's silence of the taunts because the king of Nightborn himself has arrived. He's tall, broody, and giving off main character energy. The soldiers, immediate awkward shuffling. Ora still spitting fire with her eyes. The king takes one look at her, tiny, furious, and basically holding herself together with sheer willpower, and he's like, who hurt you? Never mind. Everyone clearly hurt you. You're mine now. Then, plot twist, instead of smiting her or whatever kings do, he cradles her gently, sir? And lulls her to sleep with some magical lullaby. The soldiers? What just happened? The king? Don't question me. And just like that, Ora's on her way to the House of Night. Fast forward, a few years later. Ora's grown up and is now a lean, mean vampire hunting machine. She saves this family from a nasty vamp one night, and you'd think they'd be like, wow, our hero, but nope. The kid she just saved stares at her like she's the boogeyman.
Huh?
Ora's like, okay, rude, but whatever, I'm over it. Spoiler, she's not. Needing a break from the existential crisis, she heads over to Alana's place, aka her go-to blood vendor/mom figure. Alana's like, hey, wanna talk about that life-threatening tournament you signed up for? No? Cool? Let's anyway. It's the Kejari, aka a murder Olympics where the winners get glory and the losers get, well, you know, dead. Alana's all, girl, don't do this, but Ora's like, girl, I have to. Main character syndrome strikes again! Before leaving, Ora makes Alana promise to skip town for safety, and it's a sweet little moment until the storm drama kicks in. Back at the palace, Vincent, Ora's adoptive vampire dad, waits for her. He's got this whole tough love meets emotionally unavailable parent vibe, and their banter is basically, hi, I love you, but I'd rather sword fight than admit it. He trains her hard, like try not to die, hard. Then comes the Kejari feast. Think fancy dinner, Game of Thrones vibes, but with 90% more who's gonna stab who energy. Ora tries to blend in, but the contestants? Terrifying! Lord Ravinth looks like he could unalive you with a glare. Coretta Thon definitely sharpens her knives for fun. Ibrahim Kane, chaotic, unhinged, wildcard energy. And then there's Raihn. Oh, Raihn. He's standing there staring at some tragic painting like he's auditioning for a vampire rom-com. Ora's like, ugh, he's hot. Gross. Raihn catches her staring and she's like, mind your business, emo boy. Spoiler, he does not mind his business. Later, Vincent does a dramatic please don't die ritual in honor of Nyaxia, the goddess of night. He's all, I'm proud of you, but also, don't get dead. Sweet, right? Then, Ora dreams about her trauma montage childhood only to wake up to chaos. The Kejari starts early because Nyaxia is like, surprise suckers. Ora fights her way through death traps and illusions only to find Ilana's body. She's been brutally killed and Ora snaps. She goes full beast mode, wrecks one of the vampires responsible, and smears Ilana's blood on him as a big ol' here's your receipt for pain. Then she burns Ilana's body in a heartbreakingly tender farewell. Flashback alert! Baby Ora hides in Vincent's castle for weeks, too scared to talk to him. One night, hunger finally wins, she sneaks out to grab bread, and Vincent, instead of yelling, he just laughs. He promises to teach her to survive instead of sugarcoating the world's cruelty, and thus, their whole weird but heartwarming father-daughter thing begins. Back in the Kejari, the trials keep getting deadlier. Ora teams up with Misha and Raihn to take down a demon leader. They succeed, but Ora, she's like, cool, thanks, bye, and limps off to recover alone in a greenhouse. Ma'am, why do you do this to yourself? Of course, Raihn shows up. He's all, wanna team up? Ora? Nope. Raihn, cool, you'll change your mind. Later, Ora, now half dead and running on fumes, gets ambushed by a crazed vamp. Ugh. She wins but collapses, and guess who shows up again? Yep, Raihn. He's like, wow, you're a mess. Ora, internally screaming, and then she passes out haunted by Vincent's voice yelling, don't you dare die, kid. Flashback time! 11-year-old Ora is sitting across from Vincent looking like she's about to demand a refund for her entire life. She's like, all right, spill it. Who am I? Where do I come from? And why is my existence the equivalent of a bad soap opera? Vincent sighs in that dad who knows too much way and drops the bomb. She's from Salinae, a district he literally cannot step into without starting World War Vampire. Oraya's response? Cool. So turn me into a vampire and let's solve this mess. Vincent's like, absolutely not. Do you have any idea what that would do to you? But Oraya? Oh, she's persistent. She's all, then find another way, Mr. I'm so mysterious. And Vincent finally caves, mentioning some vague, ominous thing about a goddess's gift. Meanwhile, in present-day Kejari shenanigans, Oraya and Raihn are stuck in this hot mess of a team-up. It's all tension, side-eyeing, and are you actually trying to kill me or is this just your face energy? But when they start training, something clicks. It's like watching two angry cats begrudgingly figure out how to dance. That is until the inevitable clash. Raihn, ever the drama king, calls out Oraya's leadership skills and she's like, excuse me? I'm literally the only reason you're alive right now. He's not having it though. You're all bark and no bite, princess. And then bam, Oraya's magic bursts out, sending Raihn flying through a window like he's auditioning for a superhero movie. Both of them freeze. Oraya's like, oh no. Did I just? And Raihn, absolutely fuming, but of course unharmed because he's contractually obligated to be annoyingly indestructible. He storms back in, dripping with leftover sass and broken glass like, so when were you planning to tell me about this magic of yours, huh? Were you saving it for a ta-da moment? Things get real personal, real fast, with Raihn taking jabs at her past. Oraya's about to throw hands again when Misha, bless her, peacemaker vibe, steps in like, all right, kiddos, let's not burn the house down. Oraya, still pissed. She storms out muttering, I don't need this. I'm too soleil for this drama. Flashback round 2. Oraya, now 16, is caught up in a tragic YA romance cliche. She's fallen for a turned vampire who's got charm, cheekbones, and red flags practically waving in the wind. One night, things take a turn for the worst. When he ignores her protest, she grabs a silver candelabra and swings like she's Babe Ruth in the big leagues. She escapes battered but alive and runs to Vincent. In silence, he cleans her wounds. No lectures, no judgments, just this heavy, unspoken promise. No one hurts my daughter and lives. Damn, my daddy issues are so jealous right now. Back to the present! Oraya wakes up in her apartment with Misha being the ultimate mom friend, cleaning up the glass from the earlier magic mishap. They have a rare heart-to-heart when Oraya admits, yeah, my magic's kinda like a toddler with a sugar rush, completely unpredictable. Misha offers to help her control it, which is sweet, until Raihn stumbles back in, drunk, battered, and somehow still smug. Misha lays into him like a disappointed parent, and Raihn, in his tipsy state, actually listens. He mutters an apology, which Oraya overhears from her corner of brooding. She's like, wait, does this guy actually have layers? The next trial throws Oraya and Raihn into a mist-filled maze straight out of a horror movie. Ooh. They run into Ibrahim at a fork in the road, and teamwork immediately falls apart. Ibrahim tries to double-cross her, but Oraya's like, not today, Satan. She poisons him, spares his life, kind of, and drags his unconscious body onto a slab to open a creepy door. Deeper in the maze, Coretta ambushes her with mind magic, but Oraya outsmarts her with pure feral energy. But the real kicker? She stumbles into a field of poppies, thanks for the Wizard of Oz vibes, maze, and finds a trapped child surrounded by corpses. Oraya, who pretends like she doesn't care about anything, scoops the kid up like, all right, fine, let's get you out of here. But then, surprise, a blood-borne vampire attacks. Oraya's on the brink when Raihn swoops in looking all heroic and glowy. He takes down the vamp and together they limp towards the maze's exit, only for Angelica to show up like the final boss in a video game. Oraya stabs her and collapses, dragging herself and the kid into the Colosseum. Vincent's face when he sees her, sheer horror. Oraya, barely conscious, begs Raihn to protect the child before passing out. At the Colosseum summit! Oraya drags herself to the summit like a victorious gladiator. Imagine her face looking like she just walked out of a medieval shampoo commercial, minus the shampoo. Vincent's face, a combo of, I'm proud, but I'll never say it out loud. And, I low-key regret turning her into this beast. Oraya's like, not gonna cry. Nope, definitely not crying. Later at the feast, Vincent actually, brace yourselves, shows a smidge of emotion. He's all, well done, and Oraya's brain short circuits. Did he just, wait, was that love? Oh my god, did anyone catch that? Blink twice if it's real. But alas, his rare dad moment vanishes so fast we couldn't even hear it twice. Sobs. And here's Raihn. He pulls Ora away from bloodborne Prince Septimus, who's giving full Disney villain energy. Rain's like, nope, not today, Mr. Dramatic Cloak. He then takes Ora into an orphanage, and she was glad that the child she saved was safe, although Rain said he couldn't find her parents, but it was... They escape to a rooftop where they share beers, what are we, frat boys now? And open up about their trauma. Rain drops his big question, would you want to become a vampire if you won? Ora's brain goes bzz, bzz, error. Being a human sucks, but like vampire drama is a lot. Rain, sipping his beer like a sage, advises, don't give it up easily. It's not all glitter and fangs, trust me. Ora retorts with the smoothest compliment, yeah, but you still have compassion, even if you try to act all broody and cool. Rain.exe has stopped working. Cue the longing glances! I love one-sided desperate pining. Awkward throat clears and the universe collectively yelling, just kiss already! And suddenly, boom! The ground shook so hard it felt like the Moon Palace just got drop-kicked by fate itself. An explosion tore through the air and Ora and Rain looked at each other like, what the actual hell now? They realized the palace was under attack because obviously peace wasn't on the menu. Rain and Ora took off together, flying like winged maniacs to find Misha. When they did, she was lying there, badly injured and very unconscious. Rain scooped her up like the overachieving protector he is and whisked her off to safety while Ora handled the chaos. But Rain wasn't done playing knight in shining leather. Once Misha was safe, he charged back to haul Ora out of the disaster zone. Meanwhile, Vincent decided this was a great moment for a power speech, standing before the masses with his signature, I'm probably up to no good, Ora. He blamed the Raihn rebels for the attack and made a melodramatic promise of vengeance. For translation, it basically means war. Jesmyn, Vincent's general and professional intimidator, dragged Rain off for questioning, because obviously the fact that he's Raihn means he's guilty by association. Rain just rolled his eyes and went along, probably muttering, seriously, this again? Ora, never one to let nonsense slide, stormed into her dad's chambers like a one-woman tornado and demanded Rain's release. But Vincent, king of unreasonable, refused. He insisted they had to find the truth, whatever the hell that meant. Ora pointed out in no uncertain terms that Rain was her only ally now that Misha was out of commission. And let's be honest, Vincent probably considered letting her talk herself out, but he stayed quiet. Still, things got worse. Ora found out the goddess wouldn't release Misha from the trials, even though Misha was barely conscious now. Not one to take no for an answer, Ora marched up to the creepy minister and struck a deal. Her blood for Misha's freedom. Naturally, the minister went full vampire and drank it straight from her because boundaries? What are those? Finally, Rain was released and sent to his new room because the old ones were now a pile of rubble. He looked like he'd gone 10 rounds with a wood chipper, so Ora patched him up. While she worked, she told him the bad news. His back was so messed up that his wings were on strike. Rain, in turn, casually mentioned that Misha used to be a priestess who could use another god's powers, but surprise! That god dipped during the demon attack. Classic abandonment issues. And then came the next trial, where things got even weirder. Ora and Rain's minds merged. That's right, full-blown mental connection. They could feel each other's emotions, see each other's thoughts, and probably had to fight the urge to scream at each other to get out of their heads. But despite the awkwardness, they worked together and crushed it. Ora blasted a massive wave of magic that obliterated demons, hellbounds, and whatever other horrors decided to crash the party. Then, because drama demands it, the ball arrived. Everyone got decked out in their finest because apparently dressing fancy is the best way to process trauma. Ora danced with Vincent, who was distant and distracted, giving major guy who's hiding a secret vibes. She straight up asked him if he'd done something shady, and he dodged harder than a tax evader. Finally, Rain whisked Ora away to visit Misha, who was recovering at a farmstead beyond the dunes, because when life gives you explosions and demon attacks, you need a quiet farm scene to balance it out. Locked in the Moon Palace. Supplies are gone, Rain announces like a character in a post-apocalyptic young adult novel. Weeks pass and everyone's on their starving and moody arc. Ora tries to lighten things up by rigging a mirror to reflect sunlight for Rain. He smirks, careful princess, someone might think you care. But the hunger? It's bad. One night, Ora catches Rain sneaking the last blood like a kid caught raiding the cookie jar at 2 a.m. Ora explodes, hello, you said you had enough. Rain sighs, looking every bit like a tragic young adult love interest. I thought I did. Ora snaps back, leave, now, before you lose it and, eat me. Raihn, in full Drama King mode, grabs his stuff and storms off with the classic, "Fine, see you at the next trial." At the Crescent trial, feral vampires? Check. Poisoned animals? Double check. Oraya's navigating this horror show when she stumbles upon Raihn looking like he just stepped off the set of Twilight Zombie Edition. His glowing, slit-pupiled eyes scream, "Run!" But what does our girl do? She literally throws herself in his path, screaming, "Raihn, stop!" And he does. Barely. His humanity flickers back on like a faulty light bulb and he whispers, "Oraya?" Our girl wastes no time spilling the tea about poisoned animals, and together they bolt to a cave. Inside, Raihn collapses with the kind of smirk that says, "I'm hot, even when I'm dying." "Good thing you've been practicing," he quips as Oraya lights the cave with her magic. Then he drops the bombshell, "I can't heal without blood." Oraya? Oh great, so you're starving, injured, and extra annoying? But she still shoves her arm out all bossy like, "Take it, you don't have a choice." Raihn, ever the drama llama, protests, "No, nope, absolutely not." Oraya doesn't flinch. Suck it up, literally. He finally gives in, bites her, and whoa, spicy. Oraya whispers, "I'm not afraid of you." Raihn pulls back like, "Yeah, well, I want you to want this for you, not because of venom." Aw, sweet. Wolves attack. Raihn takes a bite meant for Oraya, and she yells, "Hey, I was gonna kill that one." Raihn and Oraya grab a cloak that's meant to protect them from the deadly mist and heads off to the finish line. Although they were mildly injured, they were fine, I guess. Later, they stumble into the ruins of Salinae, and Oraya realizes Vincent didn't just destroy vampires. He annihilated everyone. Her internal monologue? "So my dad is basically a medieval nuke. Cool. Cool." Ivan shows up all, "I'm a bad guy with bad hair," and Angelica enters full rage mode. Raihn tricks Angelica, throws Ivan into the mist, and Angelica's grief scream is so loud you can practically hear glass shatter. Oraya and Raihn barely escape. Oraya storms into Vincent's room spitting fire. "Why did you destroy Salinae? My human family could have still been there." Vincent smirks and says, "Humans? They're just livestock." Livestock! As if he wasn't about to get drop-kicked. Seething, Oraya takes her anger to the human district where she channels her inner chaos demon by absolutely annihilating vampires. It's a blood-soaked therapy session, and honestly, they had it coming. Later, back in their rooms, the tension between her and Raihn finally snaps. With the final trial staring at them in the face, they decide to spend what could be their last night alive very wisely. Sparks fly, and let's just say, they really made it count. At the final trial, in the arena, Oraya dodges gods like she's playing dodgeball in gym class. She silences Kajmar with a throat-crushing move, disarms Ix like a boss, and spears Atraxas through the chest. When Ibrahim enters, Oraya offers him dignity. "Don't let them mock you. Fight me, and I'll give you a fair death." After the clash, he whispers, "I'm glad it was you." Then, Raihn steps in. Angelica follows, raging like a villain in her final anime arc. She beats Oraya down until something in the stands distracts her. Oraya seizes her chance and strikes, ending Angelica's life. Angelica whispers her final words, "Good luck." Oraya, barely standing, looks up at the roaring crowd, haunted by everything she's lost and gained. Angelica's body drops like a mic, and Oraya turns to see Raihn across the arena, looking like a hot mess, but like the rugged, attractive kind. Their eyes meet, and the unspoken truth smacks them both in the face. Only one of them is walking out of here alive. Raihn moves first, but it's not some wild charge. It's calculated, smooth, and a little too casual. Like, "Sir, can we not look cool while trying to kill each other?" Oraya blocks him mid-swing with a growl, "Stop holding back!" Raihn smirks all, "Oh, you want me to bring it? Fine." Then he unleashes his asterisk magic like it's the grand finale of a fireworks show. Oraya's no slouch though. She counters with her night fire, and let me tell you, it's a whole-ass pyrotechnic display. There are sparks, the crowd is screaming, and you can, well, practically smell the burnt leather. Every move is heartbreakingly precise, like they're dancing, except the stakes are death. Finally, Raihn gets the upper hand and pins Oraya. He hesitates just for a second, and she takes that split-second opening like the boss she is. She drives her blade into his chest, and Raihn, because he's extra like that, smirks through the pain and whispers, "There she is." The man literally dies smiling, and Oraya's brain immediately goes, "Oh no, oh no, 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 what have I done?" The crowd? Oh, they're losing their minds. And so am I. Cheers, confetti, someone's definitely placing bets on the next drama bomb, and there's Nyaxia. The stars literally shimmer brighter, and bam, Nyaxia descends like a goth fairy godmother, all glowing silver hair and big, "I'm here to ruin your life" energy. The minister bows and declares, "Behold, our mother of the ravenous dark." Oraya's like, "Cool intro, but can you not?" Nyaxia saunters over and croons, "My child, you have earned your reward." And Oraya, oh, my girl doesn't even hesitate. I wish Raihn had won. Did she just... Yes, she did. The crowd collectively goes, "Wait, what?" Nyaxia laughs, you know, that terrifying villain laugh that says, "Oh, sweet summer child." She snaps her fingers and whoosh! Raihn comes back to life, gasping dramatically like a Victorian heroine waking from a fainting spell. But instead of a romantic, "Oh, thank you for saving me, Oraya," Raihn's immediate reaction is pure, unfiltered anguish. "Why would you do this to me?" And honestly, same. Nyaxia crowns Raihn the victor, plot twist vibes, and he's not here to play. He chooses his reward, restoring the Raihn King's power. Glowing runes light up his body like he's starring in an edgy fantasy music video, and suddenly everyone's terrified. Vincent, oh, he's big mad. He storms down like, "You killed my vibe, my plans, and now you're stealing my thunder." Raihn, completely unfazed, looks him dead in the eye and goes full savage mode. "You massacred my people. Now it's my turn." And we're here in the most brutal showdown ever. Vincent's body literally ends up smashed against the wall, and Raihn dusts off his hands like it's just another Tuesday. Oraya rushes to her father's broken form, her grief bubbling over. He grabs her hand and whispers, "I'm sorry, my little serpent. I loved you from the first moment." Oraya, sobbing, says, "I love you too," but it's too late. His death sets her off like a bottle of soda shaken one too many times. R.I.P. Dad. Nightfire erupts around her in a flaming explosion of feels, and the arena turns into a literal inferno. Raihn steps in, calm as ever, and pulls her back from the brink. "He's gone, Oraya. Breathe. Come back to me." Just as things settle down, or so we thought, someone yells, "She's an heir!" Turns out, Oraya has the Mark of an Heir, which FYI is the fantasy equivalent of a flashing neon sign that says, "I'm important." The Raihn warriors immediately go, "Death to the heir," but Raihn's like, "Lol, nope, she's my wife now." Record scratch. Oraya's brain, blue screen of death. Oraya wakes up in her childhood room, nostalgia overload, only to find Raihn waiting. She attacks him because honestly fair. Raihn, dodging her like he's in a rom-com fight montage, admits he betrayed the old Raihn King to help Vincent, but swears his love for her is real. Then, out of nowhere, he's like, "Marry me, it's the only way to keep you alive." Oraya? This feels like a trap. Raihn? It probably is. They marry, because, you know, fantasy politics, in a blood ceremony that's equal parts romantic and unsettling. Oraya's thinking, "Cool, I'm married, but at what cost?" Meanwhile, Jesmine's in the background all, "Don't trust him, babe, but I've got your back." In the throne room, surrounded by ruins of her father's reign, Raihn asks, "Will you kill me?" Oraya places her hand on his chest, leans in close, and whispers, "Not tonight." And so, in a world of blood, betrayal, and "oops, did I just marry my enemy" moments, one thing's for sure, love might not conquer all, but it sure knows how to cause maximum drama.